Okay, so we're talking about circles and circumference in this lesson, and we've kind of already talked about some of this, so some of this will be a little bit of a review, but we know that a circle is the locus of all points in a plane, equidistant point called the center. And so if I have a point, a circle, and I go out in every direction in 1 inch, go away, and 1 inch this way, in every direction, all those teeny tiny points that are all 1 inch away from that double would make a circle. So they are the locus of points, all the points that would follow a certain rule, the rule being that they're 1 inch away from the center. So to name a circle, we name it by its center. P would be the center. Might be a little wonky in this picture. But the circle symbol is a circle with a dot in the middle, and then you do the P like that. A radius, we know, would be anything that goes from the center to the rim of the circle. So PT would be a radius, and you just treat it like you would any old segment with the segment symbol. On PS would be 1, PU would be 1. A chord. Now that's a new term for us. A chord is a segment that goes all the way across the circle. One end is on one end of the circle and one end of the segment is on the other end of the circle. So QR in this case is a chord. TU is another chord. It's a segment that goes all the way across the circle. And then a diameter is a specific kind of chord. It not only goes all the way across the circle, but it happens to also go through the middle of the circle. So let's write down some formal definitions for some of these. So we said a radius has its endpoints that are the center of the circle and a point on the rim is what I'm going to call it. And we know that all radii are congruent. Every single radius in this circle will be radii in that same circle. They're all congruent when they're in the same circle. In the same circle. And then we said a chord could be defined as a segment with endpoints that are on the circle. A diameter is a specific kind of chord that passes through the center of the circle. And a diameter is made up of 2 radii. Every diameter divided by 2 is a radius. Okay, 1. Refer to the circle at right, name the circle, name a chord, and then we'll go to C, D, and E. Hold on. So first of all, for the center, so this would be circle, dot in the middle for that symbol, circle L. A chord, there's several correct answers. You could say RS, you could say ST, or you could say RT. Which one am I missing? RT. Those are all 3 chords. Name a radius not drawn as part of the diameter. So one radius would be LW. In fact, that's the only one that's not part of the diameter because RT is the diameter. Suppose that a radius of the circle is 3.5 yards. Find the diameter. So we know 2 radii equals the diameter. So 2 times 3.5, my diameter would be 7 yards. And then lastly, if RT, the diameter is 19, what would LW be? Well, we know that the diameter is equal to 2 radii. So if my diameter is 19, then 2 times a radius, we divide by 2. We get 9.5 for the radius. So let's go ahead and look at example 2 on the next page. It says the radius, diameter, or circumference of a circle is given. Find the missing measures to the nearest hundredth. So for this first one, we have 13 is our radius. So 2 times 13, 2 radii make a diameter. So our diameter would be 26. And then remember with me earlier in the year, we talked about circumference is 2 pi times radius, or same thing as diameter times pi, either way. So our diameter is 26. We could just say this is 20 pi and be done. You can do 2 times 13 times pi, and that will get you the same answer. Okay, now I goofed because they said to the nearest, they didn't say in terms of pi. So 26 pi would be 81.68. And then let's go ahead and look at part B. So in part B, they give us the circumference. We have to work backwards to find the diameter and the radius. So if circumference equals pi times diameter, diameter times pi, doesn't matter the order there. So 35.7 equals pi times diameter. We just need to divide by pi. You can do that. Pi is a number, 3.14 approximate. So our diameter would equal 35.7 divided by pi is 11.36. And then if we want to find our radius, we just will need half of that. So 11.36 divided by 2 is 5.68.